Gross.
Kagurabachi.
Kagurabachi.
And with that, I'm going to toss this one over to Jerry.
Oh. All right, give me 1 second, because y'all know how long this app takes.
Yeah.
But Kagurabachi. I could talk about what happened last time. They was in a high-speed chase after Samura's. That's that dude's name, right? Samura's daughter.
It's technically her name, too, because Samura is his last name.
So they was looking at. So the Hishaku was trying to capture his daughter. They ran up on her at school, almost had her, but Chihiro and the 3 shinobi or whatever intercepted her, and we had actually a really good chapter about Chihiro coming to terms with loss, his mission at hand, and him not having to rely on the same abilities he did before, but to rely on these people that are helping him to have a common goal. It was good. It was a great chapter. But this week, we continue the high-speed chase. That was actually interrupted by Chihiro doing a really fucking cool somersault over the motorcycle to stop the Hishaku swordsman.
Yeah, it was style points for days.
Yeah, super aura razor.
Aura razor slash.
Yeah, it was really cool. It didn't hit him, but it was cool. Anyway, yeah, so Chihiro's out here aura maxing, and this guy wants to fight him so bad now. He's like, nah, all right, you're cool.
Yeah, that was sick. I
Yeah.
I want nothing more than to fight you right now. That was super cool.
Yeah, but he's conflicted, you see, because he has a mission at hand. And that mission is to get Samaru's daughter, because she's key to breaking the deadlock between the Hishaku and Samura. Because Samura definitely plans to kill all of the Hishaku right after he finishes killing the other sword bearers. So, yeah, this is key for them. So, the swordsman has a decision to make. Passion or the mission, responsibility.
Don't we all, huh? You know?
Yeah, don't we all? Don't we all? See, this is a really great series.
You know, I've never related to a guy more.
Yeah. So, Brian speculated last. He speculated that there was a character. No,
right. I forgot about this.
Yeah, but we already went over this. That's why I said it's okay, Brian. I'm not gonna drag it.
Was this a wrong Burgundy bet?
No.
Brian's like, no.
I forget what I did a wrong Burgundy bet.
It's like a One Piece one. Damn it! I know I read it down somewhere in my nose. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
It has to do with One Piece though. Can't believe it.
It was Shanks related. But Brian definitely thought that this lady didn't exist.
Yeah. Because I don't know, the way that she was, I don't know, there was something weird about
Well, nobody addressed her ever, but
we confirmed it ourselves, but it gets super confirmed in this chapter.
Yeah. It gets 100% confirmed.
In fact, everybody saw
1,000,000%.
Everybody basically pulled up. They really do listen to us. They have... Because they might as well have been like
Sakamoto days a couple weeks ago.
You see her? And everybody's like, yeah, I saw her.
Last week they're kind of glossing over her, and I'm like, oh man, like nobody sees her. And then this next chapter, they're like,
right over there.
Every character points at her.
Right over there.
Hey, where's your partner? Oh, your partner is over there. Oh, I left my partner over there.
Yeah, this is off screen, but Chihiro's dad is in his grave like this right now.
There she is.
Right there.
Shiba in a flashback. Oh yeah, she's gonna be there.
Yeah. Uraha during the Great War. She's over there in the future.
Brian,
But it's good that we cleared that up.
Yeah. So, speaking of her, well, she's shown in an image, but it just reminded me of it. So I kind of jumped the gun there. But anyway, Chihiro's having a little flashback, thinking to himself about, what his newfound responsibilities will be, and part of the situation is that he can't use his sword, and because of that, he's kind of weak as a traditional swords fighter. He doesn't know how to, use his spiritual energy with his sword, like on a foundational level, like majority of the swords masters can, that don't use super duper powerful swords with Bankai and Shikai and all of that. So, they explain how skillful swordsmen can circulate their spiritual energy towards the sword and use it to cut objects that they normally couldn't, like a fucking boulder. A lot of people. This guy, the teleporter, says he doesn't know how to use the sword. So I don't know whose theory it was that he was gonna end up using the sword, but
Who?
Quiet L. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe it was me.
Hirohiko? Are you
Someone. No. Talking about the teleporter guy.
Teleporter guy. Oh. Somebody said that he was going to use a sword?
Yeah. One of us.
Really? Who?
It was said here. I don't remember who, but one of us
Shiba says he doesn't.
Wasn't me.
Wait, I'm confused. Wait, say it. I'm confused.
He's saying that one of us said that Shiba was going to use an enchanted sword.
Brian, you said that for sure.
I said that?
Yes.
When?
You said it was a passing thing, but you definitely were like, maybe Shiba's going to end up using a sword at some point.
I don't forget a fucking thing when it comes to pettiness.
When did it, in what context?
I think it was
the
like
context that you were wrong in.
Yeah, but like what sword? Did I even say what sword
No.
was good?
You just said he would end up with one.
I mean, Chihiro is even though he doesn't know how to use a sword, Chihiro is an example of people who don't know how to use a sword that could use it anyway.
Yeah.
So there's still a possibility that he could use the sword anyway. But I don't know why
you just reflected that, right? You think you just countered that, but you didn't. You know why? Because Chihiro can use a sword.
He had to teach himself.
Just not on a master level. Shiba says, I don't know how to use a sword.
Neither did Chihiro.
Yes, he does.
He does now, but he literally taught himself.
Shiba can't do it. He's a grown man.
That's a bullshit excuse.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
He doesn't do that. He teleports. He don't use swords.
He doesn't even need to actually use the sword. All he has to do is use the fucking power from the sword. And
Shiba explains that he doesn't know how to use a sword. He says it here in this chapter.
But brother in Christ, Chihiro didn't know how to use a sword either. What are we talking about?
It's basic principles. If you're a teleporter, you have low affinity with swordsmanship.
Whoa, easy. That's wrong. Nightcrawler.
Sasuke.
Nightcrawler doesn't have Nen.
But he teleports.
Sasuke teleports, he uses a sword.
And he uses swords.
He doesn't use Nen. Oh, he basically does use Nen. Shit. Nah, he don't teleport. Where the fuck he teleport to?
Nightcrawler?
No, Sasuke.
Sasuke uses the Renengan to teleport. Well, used.
Yeah, he uses the time-space warping garbage that they...
I lose, okay.
I respect it. I respect you backing down.
I want to continue, but I can't because it's Brian.
All right, we gotta continue. Josh, keep going. I don't even know how we started this argument.
It's just how quickly it all just ended.
Antics.
We went on one of Josh's roads of sarcasm and ended up in a brand new place.
I lose. That's right.
All right. Okay.
It's been a long time since we got wrapped up into one of Josh's roads of sarcasm. It's been a long time since
y'all are more resistant to it.
Yeah, this is the first time in a long time we've been lulled. We were driving in the wrong direction for 5 whole minutes.
I don't always do it consciously. Sometimes it just happens on its own.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why we couldn't pick up on it this time.
Wow, I'm naturally like that I don't even know when I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
that's impressive.
Yeah, and Mr. Shiba can't use a sword, so that's that. Basically, yeah, Chihiro's like, look, I can't use a sword like that. I ain't nice. You know, I've been relying on the enchanted blades. It ain't gonna cut it in these current circumstances. But since he wants to keep fighting, he's gonna put them skills to the test. And this guy you would think would be a nice little like warm up for Chihiro, but it's not, because he is a master swordsman. So much, he's so nice that he could tell by the way Chihiro's fighting him that he's not that nigga at all. And he's like, nah, you're not worth risking my job for in the goal. I must go capture that high school girl. Peace, Chihiro.
Later, loser.
Right. So he gets past him. Yeah, and then I'm sorry. Before he goes past Chihiro, he actually argues with Chihiro, you know, letting him know like he's like saying, yo, like how are you gonna try to like learn how to fight while you're fighting? Because that's what Chihiro said. Like, how are you gonna like learn to fight with swords? And he said, I'm gonna do it on, you know, as I'm going. And he's just like so fucking disappointed. And that's when he gets disgusted and just leaves them. He actually, you know what it is? He's reminded of what Hirohiko, who I guess this guy doesn't like Hirohiko either. No one really likes him.
Yeah, nobody likes that kid.
Notice that. No. Funny, except for the leader. He has plans for that child. It's not looking good. So, yeah, he kind of gets triggered after Chihiro saying that, thinking he's not taking it too serious. He's like, don't be arrogant. If you can't respect the sword, don't use it. Bitch ass nigga.
Yeah.
I added the last part. So
that was the
then
attitude
he was like,
it.
How can I wage a decent sword fight with a moron who disrespects the art? And then he bounces. And Chihiro's left like, oh shit. Damn, there's too much distance. I'm paying the price of relying on the enchanted blade, because that nigga would have been in pieces at this point. He would have been sushi.
Yeah.
A la carte. But then Mini Masumi notices, like, he's running along with Chihiro, and he notices he's like doing a little something with his sword, and he's like, basically he's like pulling his spirit energy together, and he does this really cool move called the EA White Purity style, which is something that I guess he learned from watching
Uraha.
Thank you, Uraha. Like, use the technique, but basically it builds up spiritual energy into the sword as you while it's in the scabbard, so that while you open it up really quick, it gives you like a burst of speed. Yeah, basically like a little speed burst. So Chihiro uses that just off of the memory of seeing somebody else use it, and then with the burst of speed catches up to the Hishaku swordsman and impresses the shit out of him. And he decides, before thinking about his partner who is alive and real and dying in the car right now, against all odds, he decides, you know what, I'm going to fight Chihiro instead. As the girls get away scot-free. And that was the end of Kagurabachi. Brian, what were your thoughts?
I kind of wish I gave this RGC instead. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Such a solid fucking chapter. This series doesn't miss, man. Like, I can't think of a single stinker chapter this series has had in the past. How many chapters is it? 64? 64 straight good chapters? Like, come on.
You can't say that about Sakamoto Days anymore, right? It's over for you.
I'd have to wait to see how this flashback or this arc wraps up before I'm like, all right. But so far, this arc has been a little disappointing so far for Sakamoto Days. But Kagurabachi, opposite. Not disappointing at all. The art, fantastic. And again, I don't know how this guy does it. But the way that he just tells a story with every chapter, like the past two chapters are kind of like a masterclass on like character development and character writing. I don't know how the fuck he does it. He just knows how to tell a story with events. Like, I don't know, like he keeps doing these like partial flashbacks to the meeting that Chihiro had with the Masumi. And every time he cuts back to that flashback, it's like them having a discussion about like Chihiro and how he feels and, you know, what he needs to do and what he wants to do. And with every chapter, every time we flash back to that, it's like a narrative device to continue pushing Chihiro. And I don't know, like just cutting from the flashback to Chihiro's resolve strengthening because of the bond that he's building with these three people that were also kind of like they're also looking for like kind of purpose again since losing their master. So it's kind of like, man, such an interesting like dynamic. You know what I mean? It's like these three completely capable caretakers developing this kid who never had anybody to take care of him. You know? Like Chihiro has spent his entire life taking care of everyone around him. And now he's finally in a position where he can look at himself and grow as a person for the first time. And we're watching it. Like he has people around him to actually help him grow. And we're watching with every chapter. It's such a fucking beautiful moment. And this is who he is when he doesn't have to literally use his best fucking tool all the time. Like he legit has to use N10 all the time. Because if he doesn't, people will die and things will kind of fall apart. He's the ace in the hole for pretty much every situation that he's in. So now he's afforded that chance, and god damn it, this series just does that so fucking well. Like, man, hats off. This is a great chapter. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Well, as the only true fan of Kagurabachi, this is my RGC.
Fuck you.
Certified
I'm joking,
RGC.
obviously.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Yeah, this chapter went existentially hard. It was very good. Just the art alone, A+. It's just he's just like such a great artist, and he knows how to make these iconic like big full page spreads and 2-page spreads. He just like knows how to milk a moment for all it's worth in the cool factor.
True.
But you know, it's one of those things where like Brian said, he is finally able to kind of like grow and not use the N10 as a crotch anymore. And I really like the idea that like your skill with like an enchanted blade would have to be is only magnified by how good you are at actual swordsmanship. You know, like by, you know, channeling your energy through the body through these motions, you can make your sword stronger. And, you know, it is what swords are at the end of the day. But yeah, I like this. This is kind of like a little mini training arc for Chihiro, if anything, which I appreciate very much. This is going to be a really cool full page spread when he finally regains the N10 and like uses it. I'm expecting that after he's become a master swordsman. I have this sneaking suspicion that Kuguri might be a good guy later.
I hope so.
He might
I
be an
actually
enemy
love him.
to friend vibe, kind of in the same way that Choso is. But
See that?
yeah, that's what he reminded me of. It may not happen because Kagurabachi has, defied those expectations before, I feel. But this is a Choso if I've ever seen one. Choso-esque guy.
I like this character. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of hope he does make it out of this arc.
Yeah,
He
you
joins.
know, there's a hyperfixation going on with him that's evidently very charming. There's, you know, I really do feel like that's kind of a relatable thing where, you know, you're stuck between your duty and your passion. And this guy
Yeah.
is, you know, an exaggerated version of that. You know, we all have our things that we want to do, that we would rather be doing. And this guy, like finding someone like Chihiro who actually like forces him to choose his passion in a sense is kind of an interesting dynamic here. That like Chihiro's like skill with the sword has piqued his interest so much that he's just like, you know, well, fuck my job.
As opposed to Hirohiko, who is very dismissive of like learning swordsmanship and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
This probably doesn't happen if Hirohiko gives a fuck about swordsmanship.
Probably
To
not.
be honest, because every time like Chihiro like pushes him, he thinks back to Hirohiko being like, "Fuck off, dude. I'm just gonna wing it," kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah. Which means that if Kuguri ever gets like the enchanted blade working, he's probably going to be super strong with it. So
True.
I feel like that's a seed that they're planting. There's so many people who's probably going to end up with an enchanted blade. It's possible that none of the original masters end up with it in the end. But
True.
but in the event that it goes to this guy and he gets to use one, it'll be very interesting to see. But I really liked this chapter. I thought it was a really cool development for Chihiro, setting him on this like kind of path. And Kagurabachi is his peak. You know, what are you gonna say? Sometimes the hype is real, and in Kagurabachi's case, it is. It's great. I actually bought the first volume this week because I'm like,
Word?
I've got to have it. I wish I could do the same for Sakamoto
Yeah.
Days, but I am running out of space in my bookshelf. But I would bestow that honor on Sakamoto Days also. But yeah. Hey, if you haven't read Kagurabachi, you're only 64 chapters behind. So
Read it.
get on it.
Read it.
Those are all my
Yeah, I
thoughts.
had a couple.
Yeah, go for it, Josh.
I didn't think about this before, but well, I guess this is like a newly introduced idea that like they're kind of reinventing Chihiro in a sense. Like they're sort of like allowing him to develop without the sword. I mean, they even said that if he can improve his base, abilities with the sword, he can be even better with his enchanted blade. So this is kind of like an opportunity to see Chihiro grow, where, with the enchanted blade, he was not that he was running through people, but I don't know. It's just interesting. It's more interesting this way, and I think that's cool. I don't think he's about to just beat this guy. It wouldn't really make sense if he was able to win against him. But Chihiro's been in a lot of life or death battles already. You know, even with the N10, it's still a sword, so he may have good instincts or whatever. So I just think it's interesting. That's the only real thought I had.